So Meeting Assistant continues to grow and speak. We've done some great videos on that. Automatically joins your calls, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Google Meets, WebEx, Cisco. We can never forget them. And you can then automatically transcribe and analyze those calls. But there are a lot of different calls that teams are having. Some of them are internal, some of them are sales calls, some of them are tech team calls, and some of them are customer or lead calls. So depending on that type of call, you want very different outcomes for the analysis that you're doing, and just by default, the organization of where those files are going. And so this is exactly what this release is doing. We call it intelligent meeting routing and analysis, but you can use your calendar event titles to automatically send your meetings immediately to the desired folders. And then we can layer that on with prompt automation, share that folder specifically with the team members that you want to have access to, and do a bunch of visualizations and things to unlock insights in a much more refined, granular way based on the type of meeting that you're doing. But that's all. Anything that you want to add about intelligent meeting routing before we walk into a little demo here?
Yes, a couple of things. So what we used to had is like a couple other places to set this up. You need to go to the profile section, assistant preferences, and there are like too many preferences and the selections of the customizations we were offering. So what we have done even with this update is like cluster all the configurations and settings you need under one hood. So you open this interface, you open this dialog, and either your customized assistant, you can set up how do you want to share. And of course, this intelligent meeting routing configuration, which you will see in a moment in a demo account. So there's one more thing which we are working on which is the joining rules. Because what is happening that, hey, I have synced my calendar, but that doesn't mean I wanted to hop on all the meetings and record it. So are there any ways to exclude such kind of meetings so that it doesn't join? So that is the joining rule, let me put that way, which is coming soon, where you can configure those options the same way you are setting up your routing analysis.
And just to add to that, now we love everyone building meeting assistants across the world right now, but over and over again, we hear that teams are upset because these meeting assistants are constantly trying to join every call, even if they don't want them to join the call. And without this intelligent meeting routing, all these files are ending up in these folders that maybe everyone can access when there's very sensitive details in those calls that they don't want other team members to necessarily be able to view. So this system allows you to completely eradicate those risks. And it's one of the only systems in the market that allows you to do it. And none of them do it as intuitively and easy as this. We're in our own Speak account right now. And just to show, we use our platform every single day. We absolutely love it. And we're also engineering for ourselves to solve these problems. This was a problem that we were having where our sales calls were merging in with our internal team calls, with our development calls, and it just didn't make sense. So as Vatsal said, all these are now really combined into this nice little area. But what we wanted to highlight in this piece here right now, in this section on this release, is you can set up these conditions. So we already have a bunch of conditions set up. For example, if it's a demo, we know that it's a sales call. So we're going to route it to the sales call folder. If it's the Speak AI weekly kickoff meeting, we know it's the full team. But if tech is in the title, we know that's a development team call. We probably could standardize our meeting names a little bit better, but we're doing the best we can. And we've obviously got lots of other stuff on the go. And what do I need to do? What's very interesting is I can add that condition. And you can see what's really nice is if you are already using the calendar, pull in different meeting titles, and then you can use that with the condition contains to then route to the folder. So just as an example, test event contains or equals. And then in this case, if it's a test event, we wanted to go unassigned because we know we're just testing something. That's anything else that you want to add here to this flow?
Yeah, no, I think you touch on the condition, which is important because if you want to just match, let's say daily debrief, which is maybe everyone's stand-up call in all the meetings, you can just match the exact event with the conditions and it will go to the particular folders you have selected. And the connected dot I just want to make here is why is this crucial is that if you have set up the automation to run the prompt, either generate the summary, generate any action items after the call ends, it will create a report and send it to you. The crucial part is the routing, why it comes into the play, because when you set up the automation, you need to select the folder where a new file comes in. So end-to-end automated workflow for you.
Yes, that is exactly it. And so in this case, we have an automation that is specifically for our sales call summarization. And now we can select only that sales call folder, and it talks about, hey, what happened for the sales rep, what happened with the customer for speak. We could even separate this even more granularly and say, hey, first demo versus second demo versus lead versus active customer, and really build these mind-blowingly precise automations, as well as we know every time we do a tech team call, we're looking for the next steps in terms of development scope or what blockers does the team have. And immediately you can identify that after the call. You're not going to get a sales call summary. So that is where this comes into it. And again, as far as we know, I just do not know any other company giving this capability right now.
This end-to-end workflow, absolutely. There are a couple of companies who, of course, does the automated summary generation or the action item, but you wanted to have your own customizations in a nature that you can create the desired output of that summary. And the flexibility the system provides is unbeatable, compared to the other products in the market. Because once you are hooked in, once you have set up this workflow, for example, Tyler, if you close this dialogue and see how many times you have run these automations, it's like it's completely automated, and you are getting either the Slack notification. If you are configured, you are getting the email notification, including the meeting player, so that you can go back and review what exactly are happening and stuff.
Let's just close this loop just to give one other understanding of just how powerful this is. So sales calls, I've now got that selected. I'm going to run a magic prompt. You're going to see some language change here, but that doesn't necessarily matter. We've got our sales assistant type. So now we can customize the assistant type. And it said, please review the transcripts from our sales calls for the day and produce a daily summary report to help us grow. And I could refine this prompt until the end of the day, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to close this loop and I'm going to schedule this. So I'm going to say, hey, let's look at today. And then we're going to send at 6 p.m. every day. I can now create that, and only the sales call will be analyzed and it will run this analysis. So now every single day, we're going to get a daily summary of the sales calls.